be going down. I'll make my way home. Driving in my icy car, listening to the sounds on the radio. Johnny Mathis doing his thing.
Old age has its own rules, gifts, blessings, and befuddling tricks. For this old dude, one of the most glaring and dominant of these rules and tricks is how time passes. It is like somebody slammed their foot down on the gas pedal and off I zoomed like a thief fleeing from the bank he had just robbed. One day blends into the next in a near whirlwind of memories, goodbyes, and wonders. A day zooms by and turns into a week, the weeks stack together and become full months, and the months transform themselves into years. Sometimes, I want to yell, "Slow down, world." As if that would do any good. It has been 20 years since my mom's vacant, distant eyes popped open as I sat close to her in the hospital. She had grabbed my hand and whispered, "I think I am leaving this world." And she did. Seems like it just happened a blink or two ago. Today, I am inspired to share some of my favorite winter tales with my pals. I invite you to join me. For those who know me, you will recognize this story, for it is one of my favorites. An Orange for Christmas. I swore my mother would never be put in a nursing home if I had anything to do with such a heart-wrenching decision. But an enormous part of this mysterious life is how one must adjust. Adjustments are needed often. Mom had taken a serious fall in mid-sentence one autumn morning and dropped like a maple leaf outside toward the linoleum floor.
"It looks like such a beautiful day."
Out she went like a final spark from a forest fire ember. I dove and got an arm around her, which lessened the fall a little. One does not want to fall when you are old. The damage was serious, 6 mini fractures in her back. Worse yet, a new permanent uninvited guest who would never take the hint to leave, wormed its way into Mom's life as her constant companion, chronic pain. Her doctor would not let me bring her home. He found her a bed in a nursing home. I felt like a failure each morning I visited. She got better, and I could transfer her to a wonderful and expensive, over $5,000 per month, retirement center. I recognized her twilight and started asking questions and recording her responses. One question was this one: "What was your favorite Christmas gift you ever received?" Without a moment's hesitation, she sat up and started sharing. An orange for Christmas.
One frosty, gray Christmas morning, my mother and father had somehow saved up enough money to give me a special treat, my own orange. Didn't have to share it with my sisters or brother. Nope. It was all mine. I sat out there on the rickety old wooden porch in my slippers, my hair all in a mess underneath my wool stocking cap, and took off my gloves, which I placed carefully next to me on the snowy step. The sight of the juicy fruit made my mouth water back then, and even speaking about it now makes my mouth get wet. I took that juicy orange apart with the care and patience of an expert jewelry artist or Swiss watchmaker. I cleaned each segment like a loving mother would wash her new baby, and lined them up on the cedar chopping block. I got lost in the drama of each bite and licked my fingers, not wanting to waste a drop of that orange magic. I chewed each segment as slowly as a slug on sleeping pills. My father gently had to guide me back inside to finish the last 2 bites. I had totally ignored the freezing temperature and the snow falling in large flakes on my now wet pajamas. It could be hard for young people today to understand why I so loved that orange. Everybody back then was poor and had money challenges all the time. There was no place to work and too many people were looking for work. Desperate is the word. People were desperate to get enough money to keep the heat on in their home and pay rent or mortgage so they didn't become homeless. Showers and baths were luxuries and didn't happen every day or even every week for some families.
I can still see my old mom get this dreamy look on her face when telling me her orange as her favorite gift story. She took a sip of cocoa and continued.
For most of my childhood, in the middle of the Great Depression, we existed on potatoes. Fried ones for breakfast, boiled or mashed ones for lunch, and baked ones for dinner. On rare days, an egg or two might be added to the empty plate. I recall getting up early that Christmas morning and seeing my stocking filled with walnuts, 2 small green apples, and, on top, the glorious orange gem.
An orange? Mom, could you imagine if I gave my boys an orange as their only gift for Christmas today? Somebody might call up Child Protective Services. Why was an orange such a grand gift? I will never forget how distant her eyes became that morning as she told her tale. She time-traveled that day.
Bobby, we had tasted nothing that sweet. Sweets were rare and special back then.
Merry Christmas!